It is Monday, 8:02 on the ones and twos. This is your guy, Mr. H, aka Mr. Triple A, coming to you with this funky mindset this morning. Let's get some fire in the chat if you was on that wig talk this morning. Let's get some fire in the chat if you have had a hell of a weekend this morning. Let's go. Buenos dias. Oh, y'all already active in the chat. Already active in the chat. I like it. I like it. Let's go. Oh man, today is going to be a good one. Today is going to be a good one. How many people know that everything affects everything? Let's go. Y'all know how I like to get y'all right on a Monday. I like send y'all right during the week. Send you off with good blessings, good loving, good hugging, good healing, good preaching, good teaching, all of that good stuff. What's up, Shahida? What up, KD? What's happening? Tracy, what's popping? Yo, Keith, what's happening? You see that, bye, bro? Let's go. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Not only am I excited, let me cut my music down a little bit. Let me cut my music down just a little bit to give you guys some really insight. So I've been basically diving deep in my mind, and I've been creating a lot of other things on the back end in my little entrepreneurship. For those who already are entrepreneurs, you know how your mind is like always kind of like being like hella creative. So when I'm being creative, I like to literally make sure that I'm literally like taking advantage of ideas. So for anybody that ever wanted to start something, ever want to manifest something, and you have questions like, where do I start? Like, how do you even get started? Like, where do you get the energy to even figure it out? How did you even figure this out? Like, those type of questions, put some fire in the chat if that is you. Like, I want to start my own business, but where do I start? I want to basically start selling stuff, but where do I start? I need to make extra money, but where do I start? I wanted to learn Forex, but where did I start? That mindset is something serious. So one of my favorite mentors, I'm talking about one of the all-time great mentor. I have a video that I listen to probably 10 times, maybe even 15 times a day sometimes. Put some 8s in the chat if you ever heard of Jim Rohn. He is probably one of the greatest motivational speakers that I've ever heard, and literally just followed blindly in all of his actual teachings of just self-development, personal development, and just becoming a better individual to be able to receive and achieve better. So I have that video that I'm going to pour into you guys today. And it's a 10-minute video, and I want you guys to literally get your notebook, get your pen, because we're going to pause it as we go through it. You guys are going to listen to it because I'm not going to turn my phone around and hold it on the screen the whole damn time. So I want you guys to listen. We're going to stop it. We're going to communicate about the video, and we're going to move and groove, and we're going to elevate. But this is probably hands down, one of his best videos. So watch this, beautiful people. Are y'all ready? Put some fire in the chat if y'all ready. We ain't got but 40-some people in here, so this is the perfect time to do it. This is the perfect time to do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's pause it. Are y'all ready? Put some fire in the chat. Put some fire in the chat if y'all ready. Let me turn this up because this is good. This is good.
Here's the time to act. Here's the time to act.
So y'all can hear that, right? So how he addresses the audience is the same way I was just addressing you guys, in saying that if you are literally wanting like to know how to act, when to act, like what to do, how to think, like this is one of the greatest advices an individual can do. And I personally can give you a mindset like this. But I thought, why not allow the individual who created the mindset for me to do and be able to speak the way I speak, and allow him to do it himself. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Jim Rohn. Put a 1 in the chat if you never heard of Jim Rohn, because there's always 1 or 2 people. There's always one or two people. Put a 1 in the chat. Oh my God, Stephanie Richardson, you never heard of Jim Rohn? Well, then I will turn my screen around. This is Mr. Jim Rohn. So here we go. Let's go. Bram, you never heard of Jim Rohn? You never? Y'all screenshot that right now and you can thank me later. Whoever, I am finna turn the game on now. So listen, I will turn the screen around.
When the idea is hot and the emotion is strong, that's the time to act. You say, Mr. Rohn, I'd like to have a library like yours. See if you feel strong about that. What you got to do is get the first book and then get the second book. Before the feeling passes and before the idea gets dim, action pronto, action immediate, action as soon as possible.
Y'all should be liking it. Y'all should be liking it.
We call it the law of diminishing intent.
Let me pause that. So he made a statement. I'm going to turn it around. Y'all, somebody write that down. Law of diminishing intent. A law of diminishing intent. Let me tell you one thing I like to do. Every day that I listen to this and every time I listen to it, I get different notes. It's amazing how I can listen to this video and go about what I got going on a daily basis and correlate that to what I got going on to the daily basis, and my notes get different. Let me tell you about the power of the law of diminishing intent. It is one of the biggest killers of your dreams if you have ever known a killer besides procrastination. Put a 1 in the chat if you have no clue what the law of diminishing intent is. Because I'm going to break it down and I'm going to allow Jim Rohn to break it down as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you have no clue. Angie, it is what you intend to do, but you never do. It's what you intend to do, but you end up allowing your actual fire, that actual motivation, that energy, that creativity, that spark, you allow it to die with diminishing intent, saying, I had an idea, but I'll get to that some other time. I got to go to work right now. I got to take care of my kids right now. So I intend to do that, but I wanted to learn Forex, so I intended on basically going to class, but put some fire in the chat if this makes sense. So here we go. Let's press play.
We intend to when the idea strikes us. We intend to when the emotion is high. But now if you don't translate that into action fairly soon, now the intent starts to diminish. And a month from now, it's cold. A year from now, can't be found. So act. Set up a discipline when the emotions are high and the idea is strong and clear and powerful. That's the time to set up the discipline. Somebody talks about good health and you're stirred. Right. You need to get a book on nutrition. Get the book before the idea passes and before the emotion gets cold. Go for the book. Start the library. Start the process. Fall on the floor. Do some push-ups. Action. Got it?
Y'all heard what he said? Fall on the floor. Do some push-ups. Do you understand why I be telling people to do push-ups? Do you know how powerful push-ups are? Do you know how powerful psychologically push-ups are for the body?
Daddy.
Yes.
Because he was going last time, because I failed this, because it's not for her. This is not for her. This is not for her.
Why she always hating when I'm in my, I be in my flow. I'm in my flow right now. I'm in my Morgan Freeman mode right now, and she hating. I'm like literally narrating one of the best lives, and you are being a hater. Go in there and your mama do it. Let me finish. Love you. Straight hater. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Take action. Otherwise, the wisdom is wasted. Otherwise, the emotion soon passes. Unless you put it into a disciplined activity. Capture it. Disciplines is called how to capture the emotion and how to capture the wisdom and trend.
Answer. Do you know how important it is to capture the creative moments that sparks through your brain? And that's when I told you guys, stop trusting your brain to remember everything and keep you a notebook and pad around you at all times, because a long pen will go further than a long mind. Let me tell you, it is highly important that you consistently take notes. So what I got you guys doing right now is visually looking at me. Actually, audio-wise, you're listening to me and Jim Rohn. And manually, you should be taking notes. So now you physically, mentally, spiritually, literally own one right now. Let's keep going.
Translated into equity, disciplines. Now here's what's important about disciplines. All disciplines affect each other. In fact, here's a good philosophical phrase. Everything affects everything else.
You see? You see? Hey.
I'm not going to be never.
I know, because Daddy's busy right now. Daddy's on live stream right now. The world is watching. Look, look.
I didn't know.
Okay, go. Now you know. Y'all got your vibes? Y'all good now? You got your daddy love this now?
I didn't know because he was trading to get out to that pee.
Okay. All right, guys. Now we're back. Let's go.
Nothing stands alone. Don't be naive in saying, well, this doesn't matter. I'm telling you, everything matters. There are some things that matter more than others, but there isn't anything that doesn't matter. Okay. We all pity the man who says, well, this is the only place I let down. Not true.
How many people say when they're trading, well, this is the only time I just placed the trade this time. This is the only time I never really did the whole markup. How many times have you said that to yourself? Was like, oh man, this is all right. It's just another blown account. Let me tell you, like I always say, pity the free meal, despise the free meal. Always be the individual offering and giving the free meal. Just like I'm also saying, don't be the individual that is literally like pouring lack of priority on discipline. Just because you were undisciplined, you don't prioritize it anymore by saying, it's okay. It was just this time. This is what he's saying. So these are little nuggets that you have to take into your daily basis. And when you do it, call yourself out on your shit and be like, let me drop down and do some action. Anytime I find myself going against what the vibration and frequency that I'm trying to attract, I have a call to action, which is push-ups. Let's go.
Key to take home. Every letdown affects the rest of your performance. Every letdown affects the rest. This is part of the educational process on personal development.
You heard what he said.
Walk around the block, you probably won't do the apple a day. If you don't do the apple a day, you probably won't start building your library. If you don't build your library, you probably won't keep a journal, and you won't take pictures, and you won't do this, you won't do wise things with your money, won't do wise things with your time, won't do wise things with your possibilities and relationships, and the first thing you know, 6 years of that accumulated, and we say you have messed up. So the whole key to reversing that process now is to start picking up these disciplines. Now here's the positive side. Every new discipline affects the rest of your disciplines. Every new one affects the rest.
Amen.
That's why action is so important. The least action, the smallest action. Take it. Because when you start accomplishing and the value starts to return from that one action, it'll inspire you to do the next one and the next one and the next one. You start walking.
Do y'all understand what he just said? It's the smallest of actions that makes some of the biggest impact. When you're literally consistently trying to like overthink a trade, just take the trade. Take the trades. Take the action into literally saying, yo, this is what I'm going to be doing to financially change my life. Every time you prolong literally investing into yourself and taking the chance, you're literally dimming the fire of the creativity of you being the generational financial game changer. Do you understand that? Do you understand what he's telling you right now? If you have the fear of pressing the button, you have anxiety when you're in the trades, you don't like seeing the drawdown, you take your positives and you cut them quick. Do you understand if you put that and correlate that to what he's saying right now? Jeez. This is so powerful. Let's go.
Block, it'll inspire you to get an apple. Get an apple, it'll inspire you to get a book. Get a book, it'll inspire you to get a journal. Get a journal, it'll inspire you to grow, develop some skills. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack affects the rest. Every new affects the rest. The key is to diminish the lack and set up the new. And you've started a whole...
Diminish the lack and set up the new.
Also, one more thought on discipline. Here's the greatest value of discipline. Self-worth.
Amen.
Self-esteem. People are teaching self-esteem these days, but they don't connect it to disciplines. The least lack of discipline, and it starts to erode our psyche. One of the greatest temptations is to just ease up a little bit. Right?
Ooh, did you hear what he just said? One of the greatest temptations is to ease up a little bit. You know what? I've been doing enough. Today, I'm just going to chill. You know what? I've had a really rough morning. I'm just going to you know what I'm saying, sit back and chill for the rest of the day. Do you understand what I'm telling you right now? The greatest threat to your actual achievement is literally letting off the gas. Let me let Jim keep cooking. Keep cooking, Jim.
The slightest lack of doing your best starts to erode the psyche. Instead of doing your best, doing just a little less than your best. Sure enough. You say, well, it's just going to affect my sales. No, it's going to affect your consciousness. It's going to affect your philosophy. Now you've begun in the slightest way to affect your own philosophy. Here's the problem with the least neglect. Neglect starts as an infection, and if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease.
Ooh.
First of all, when neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. You say, well, how can I get back my self-respect? I'm telling you, you don't have to go to 29 classes. All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that now corresponds to your own philosophy. Like I should, and I could,
and I will. Let's go. How many people understand that? I should, I could, I will. You ain't got to go take all of these courses. You ain't got to go literally to 29 different classes. You ain't got to have $1 million gurus. All you have to do is start literally disciplining yourself to what you're trying to achieve. And let me tell you this, there's levels of discipline. Some people try to establish the level of discipline to the individual that they're trying to be. You're not that individual yet, so you have to grow up to that individual. So when you push yourself to the extremes just to be immediately to that individual, that's when the rude awakening happening and you realize like, yo, I have so much more to go. And then disappointment sets in and then setback sets in. Then I'm just was going to intend to go to the gym 4-5 times a week, but I only went 3. It's okay because I just got started. You see how that mentality just messes up the whole algorithm of you achieving greatness? Just in fitness. Well, since I'm at an event and they don't have healthy things, I guess one chicken wing will do. You see how that happens? Well, I intended on watching my diet, but what had happened was I was at this event. We started smoking. I started choking. I got the munchies. And I ended up at a Waffle House. You see you see how that happens? So let me tell you, beautiful people, this is probably one of the greatest videos that I've ever heard Jim Rohn does. And I listen to it literally like 10 times a day, sometimes minimum. And every time I have a sided note selection in my phone just with this actual thing right here. Let's keep going. Watch this.
No longer will I let neglect stack up on me so that I will have the sorry scenario 6 years from now, giving some excuse instead of celebrating my progress. That's the key to discipline. Okay. Let's get kids involved in the least of discipline.
We got 88 beautiful people in here. Let's go.
One more, and then another one, and then another one, and then some more. And the first thing you know, you're starting to weave the tapestry of a disciplined life. into which you can
That's
pour
right,
more
Keith.
wisdom and more attitude and more strong feeling, more faith and more courage. Now you've got something, a vessel in which to put it. And now the equities start to flow. And the early return, I'm telling you, if you'll start this process, the early return will have you so excited. You'll commit yourself to this strategy for the rest of your life. You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd. Join a new group. The
Amen.
disciplines to do it. Take action. I recommended the last time I was here the little book, Richest Man in Babylon, and I said I've lectured now to over 3 million people in the last 33 years, and I've recommended this little book to almost all of them, I think. Guess how many have actually gone and got this little book? Answer, very few. My best guess is 10%. Such an easy thing to do. In that last seminar, right, I suggested this little book, number one, is easy to find. Number two, it's easy to buy. The most you can pay for it, $6, $7, $8. You can borrow that from your kids. And number three, it's easy to read. It's in story form. That's why I use it for teenagers, teaching them how to be rich by 40, 35 if you're extra bright, much sooner if you find a unique opportunity. But if it's easy to find and easy to buy, and if it's easy to read, why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and
Some don't.
Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90%
Don't.
or won't. We don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change.
Ooh, you hear what he said? You hear what he said? Numbers don't change. Only faces change. 10% will, 90% won't. 10% will, 90% won't. And those numbers won't change. So my question is, why you think you can operate in the 50%, the 75%, the 80%, the 30%, the 25%? It's either the 10 or you in the 90. You got to understand that, beautiful people. There's no, okay, I'm doing 17.5 today. No, you either operating in the 10 or you operating in the 90. I even take it even further to like the 99 to the 1. You can take it from the 97 to the 3. That's as far as I take that scale. The far as I take the scale is from the 1%ers to the 3%ers. That's me. So I don't go from the 90-10. I used to think like that. But when I started developing more skills, I started being around better people, I started holding myself accountable financially. That's when I started saying, yo, I'm not even the 10. The 10% kind of like, I'm like this with the 10 sometimes. I'm like, damn, you sure you're supposed to be over here? So I like the 97.3, you know what I'm saying? I like the 3%ers to the 1%er, you know what I'm saying? That wealth game. So let's keep going.
You're looking at one of the faces. I used to belong to the 90% who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. Guess how many people have a library?
What's up, Andreen? I see you,
Wisdom
sweetheart.
of the world available. Transform your life in any value amount you want. By the way, how much is a library card in Texas? Free. Here's what free is. Easy.
Let me turn it around. Guess the question that he asked. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear the question he asked. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear the question that he asked, because I felt that it was kind of low. He simply said, how many people in here right now? We got 91 beautiful people in here. How many in here right now, by putting a 5 in the chat, have a active library card? Type a 5 in the chat. He said, there we go. Sean has a library card. Okay, Lakita, I see you. I see some 5s now. Y'all better not be lying to me. Y'all better not be lying to me with y'all thumbs just trying to be cool. Y'all better not be. Because I'm checking these names. I got all of these comments. So next time I see you, I'm like, yo, pull that library card out. Library check card. Library card check, fool. I'm checking the cards. I'm checking cards, fool. All right. Here we go. Listen to this.
I mean, it can't be any easier than free. Somebody says, well, would you bring it by? Well, no, at least you got to go get it. No. Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life spiritually, socially, personally, economically, and every other way. Teach you how to be rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy and influential. How many people have a library card? Answer, 3%. 97% couldn't be bothered. Guy specializes in happy hour, but he doesn't have a card. And now readily and quickly blames the government and blames his company and blames policy and blames the pay scale. When if he only knew, if he joined the 3%, here's my advice to you today. Walk away from the 97%. Don't talk like they talk. Don't act like they act. Don't go where they go. Don't specialize in what they specialize in.
Let's go.
Throw away the blame list they cling to. Start you a new life. You say, well, is it as simple as getting a library card and join the 3%? And the answer is
yes.
of course. That's how easy this stuff is. This is so easy. It's so simple. It's not complex. You don't need a 2,000-year-old guru. You don't need multi-track affirmations. I'm telling you, don't. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Don't let somebody sweep you into some contrary way to nature.
You heard what he said? Affirmations without discipline is the beginning stages of delusion. And that's where you're going to see most people mistaken movement with progress. Just because someone is moving around a lot and you see a lot of activity from him, that don't mean he progressing up. He just moving. You understand that? So you guys got to start understanding the difference. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning stages of delusion. And how many people in here right now 100% know a delusional ass individual? Like, this motherfucker delusional. Half of y'all ex-boyfriends are delusional. Most of y'all can go back and think of some of y'all crazy ass exes, male or female, and be like, yo, that motherfucker was delusional. He was thinking way, I don't know what world he was living in. But he got me all the way messed up, girl. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Says, unless you labor, the miracle of the seed and the soil and the seasons and God and all the other
and drink.
That's not available to you by affirmation. It's only available to you by labor. So labor well.
Labor well.
Okay. Learn well.
Learn well.
Discipline yourself well. And you can have all the treasures you want. This stuff's easy and simple. It's not ocean waves and seagulls. You don't have to move to Sedona where all the force fields come together in Arizona. Let's teach our kids the simple ways to transform their health, number 1. Their economics, number 2. Their ability to communicate, number 3. Their life and treasure and lifestyle, number 4. Spirituality, number 5. And the list goes on and on. Let's not leave out any of the least of disciplines that encourage us to do the next one, to do the next one, to do the next one. The first thing you know, this whole scenario for you is spinning up instead of out of control on the negative side. This is all you got to do. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as a start, committing yourself to life change. And once you start down this road, I promise you, you'll join the 10% and the 3%.
Ooh. Yo, can we get some fire in the chat? Can we get some fire in the chat for my guy, Jim Rohn? Can we get some fire in the chat for my guy, Jim Rohn? Because I think there's no better way to put it. There's no better words to put it. But understanding that everything affects everything. Every discipline affects every discipline. So when you're trying to literally figure out what you can take out of your life to be able to manifest something more. Okay, I want to be fit, so therefore I'm going to start cleaning up my diet. And if you're not going to do it all, then everything is going to affect everything. Because what you fail to do over here, you're going to fail to do over here in the Forex market. It's going to correlate. Nothing comes out of your body without connecting back to the source. So what you put out is going to boomerang back. So if you put out diminishing intent, you're going to receive diminishing affirmation. You put out diminishing intentions, you're going to receive diminishing affirmations, diminishing blessings. You're going to receive actual uncalculated losses. You understand that? I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys because You guys got to understand, like you have so many creative ideas. Like the mind is such an amazing thing, and I know a lot of you guys are already in such great spaces in life because you're developing. And when you start self-developing, you start wanting more. And when you start wanting more, you have to start being more. And when you start being more, you start doing more. And when you start doing more, you start achieving more. Ooh, like this today. Like this. Everything affects everything. Make sure you guys like, make sure you share. We should have way more likes because I think This Is Live is probably one of the greatest mindset because I never really add other speakers into it. I think this is one of the greatest introduction of Jim Rohn to individuals who don't know Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of the greatest motivational speakers without all of the bells and whistles. And he gets up there with literally like a whiteboard and he breaks down literally sales and self-development and literally just how to be a better person.
If you're sitting around Googling
How to be a better person, and you can't get no better than that. So I love you guys. Y'all like, y'all share, y'all make the rest of your day the best of your day, beautiful people. I don't know what you got going on, but you better make sure it is going up today. Today is Columbus Day, where they're celebrating an individual who already been on some, you know what I'm saying, diminishing intentions. Well, I intended to give the natives their current, you know what I'm saying, what was due, butter rum. I discovered it. Let me get out Columbus ass. Let me get out Columbus ass and go to Bank of America like Columbus, you know. I discovered this vault today. Everybody, please. On the ground. Aye, sir, I'll take all the bands. I'll need all the money. Yes. It's all mines. It's mines. I've discovered it, yes. Me and my retros and my Travis Scott's Cactus Jacks, we've stepped foot into your bank vault. Oh, let me stop. Let me be like, what is your name? Well, my name is Kira, and I'm from Nigeria. Send me QR code. Send me QR code. I need your cash app. Like, sir, you got the right to remain silent. Get your hands behind your head. I need QR code, officer. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. I'm on one. I'm on one right now. I really appreciate everybody chiming in. Show some love. From Russia, Kagdila. Dmitry Kagdila. I had some Russians the other day, and I said, sir, you want to try something amazing? He said, ugh. I said, you Russian, huh? He said, how did you know? I said, Kagdila. He said, go to the show. I said, that motherfucker had to be Russian mafia. I said, sir, you want to try something amazing? He said, ugh. I said, did you just growl at me? I said, you must be Russian. He said, how did you know? I said, Kagdila. He said, go to the show. I said, I don't know if you ever seen a black man speaking Russian, but I've had plenty of Russians in my life, so therefore I know a little Russian. I know a little Russian, bro. I know a little bit about Russian. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Deuces, beautiful people.